Hi guys, welcome to Bajerski Crystals channel. It's a great day to talk about something, but first of all, I'll have a drink. I've been working so hard. Okay, somebody said I slurped the other day. Very sorry. Okay, we're talking about something really interesting. Over the 16 years that I've worked with tens of thousands of clients, what I found working with crystals is a very fascinating thing, and that is a crystal falling and breaking, whether that's fallen off a chain, off a rope, in your hand, or on the table, or just breaking on your neck when it's hung there, and that has happened often. For me, there are certain trademarks that a crystal shows me what I need to do when a crystal is broken. And more often than not, I normally do one of three things. And that's why I'd like to share that with you today, if that's okay. This is not to say that your understanding of crystals is any different from mine. I'm only giving you a perspective, that's all, my perspective. First of all, I want to say there's no such thing as a negative or bad or dangerous or cursed or whatever you might want to feel in a negative way towards a crystal. Crystals are merely energy exchanges, and what that means is when a crystal has grown from a ground or a cave or wherever a crystal comes from, it comes from Mother Nature and her water and her heat and the minerals and everything in the ground that creates the crystal. But it's created in a certain unique way that basically, in a nutshell, Mother Earth knows exactly what to do to create a vibration or an energy in her Mother Earth. And crystals absolutely are 100% of positive energy that heals us, cleanses negativity away, strengthens us, and overall positively helps humanity, our friends and family, our animals, and Mother Earth. So when a crystal is taken from the ground, people get upset and say they should leave that crystal there so that Mother Earth can heal in her own way. To a degree, I've got to agree with that. I think pulling trees up and cutting them down isn't healthy. I don't like it, but we're in modern day life. Things happen. People want to build, people want to do things, and people like crystals, so I love them. So it's really interesting, no matter where you go in the world, if you go to different parts of the world at the highest points or the most desolate places, you can go to, I don't know, there's so many places, but certain places, the indigenous cultures, a lot of them will not allow you to touch, especially the Mongolians, I would say. They don't like you to touch the crystals, even though they're on the floor. They don't like you to touch them. And they will only gift you them if they appreciate you and you've been kind and caring. They may gift you a Mongolian crystal. So I like that. I kind of like that as well. But getting back to crystals, because I go off on one, as you know. We're talking about, spiritually speaking, why a crystal breaks. That's the first thing you guys want to know, right? What you do with them after that we'll talk about. But there are many reasons why a crystal will break. And one of the reasons is accidents happen. Now, do I really believe that? Not really. But I have to say it because there is a possibility that accidents happen. And they just drop and break, okay? When a crystal breaks, it has got nothing to do with anything negative. In fact, it's sometimes the opposite of that, and so powerful you wouldn't or you couldn't imagine. Sleeping Beauty has an amazing energy. It is like a turquoise crystal, very rare now. They're being copied all the time. But if you can get a piece of Sleeping Beauty, it has a unique energy of breaking when it's on you if your body needs to heal from certain illness. It also has the same effect in a spiritual manner that if you're blocked and you need to be healed from it, the crystal can break. Moldavite has broken on me, just shattered on me. Did it mean I was ill? I don't know. I don't go to doctors. Does it mean that I have bad luck? Not really, but something happened. So, if you were to say, Mark, a crystal has just broke or I just dropped it, does it mean bad luck for me? I know it doesn't, so I would say not at all. But there's certain things now that could have happened and certain things you can do. So it could be that the crystal could have served its purpose. Oh, but you're always changing. Yes, you are always changing. Your energy is always changing. Therefore, put the crystal away if you feel and leave it there and give it a few months and then go back to it and feel it again. And then you might find your energy shifting and thinking, wow, this crystal's working again. You've got two in each hand, even better. Thank you. Or you can mount them. So you can go to your local jeweler and say, could you mount these two crystals? And where the crack is, you just mount them in silver or gold. Then you've got two beautiful crystals. You know what I'd do with that? Well, you already know. I'd gift one away and keep one for myself. But also, when a crystal has dropped and maybe have broken into 3 pieces, if you go to Diary of an Accidental Psychic, the book that I wrote, my first book, in there is a chapter of how to plant crystals and where to put them. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It takes too long to explain. But by the river, by the sea, in a mountain, but there's a reason why I do that, because then you can go into a deep meditation and always call for that energy. But that's in my book if you want to take a read of it. It's a brilliant little chapter. I've worked with clients with Moldavite in their hand, and when they finished, the Moldavite shot out of their hand, literally. And many people will tell you, in Spain, we don't have carpets. But I made sure I had carpets because of the amount of times crystals would fly off people while I was healing them. This guy's crazy. It sounds it, but no, it's not. It happens. Literally shoots out of their hand. How did that just happen? Energy. So sometimes your crystal can absorb energy and then needs to release it. So it's almost like you energize a battery, and when it's full, it finishes. Then you've just got to put it away and then allow it to use the energy up. So same with the crystal. You hold the crystal, and the negative energy that may be within you, or even positive, could be the other way around as well, guys. So it's running in. A lot of my clients were really ill and poorly. So at that point, the crystal is receiving negative energy. Once that's done, you put it to one side, and the crystal, it doesn't absorb it to cause you illness. Again, when you hold it, it actually absorbs it and dispels it. That's what's so fascinating about crystals. They never ever hold dark energy. There was only one time a friend of mine who was into crystals for many years told me, but it wasn't a crystal, it was basically a stone. And that stone, when he held it in his hand, actually felt like his whole arm had turned to stone and died. And he dropped it and said to the 3 women who were healers, what the hell is that? That is bad. And they said it's a stone dug from Auschwitz. And he said, why would you do that? And they said, well, we want to give love and healing. He said, just put it back, put it away, leave it. That place needs to be left alone. So but that wasn't a crystal, that was a stone. So I diverted again, sorry. I have a lot of stories. So anyway, going back to the 3 things that you can do. The first thing I would suggest is place it into a beautiful, you see these oils here? If you look very carefully, you can see there's crystals in here, and many of them are cracked crystals. which I've worked with, and they cracked because they were either on my neck or on a client. And when that's happened, they've gone into the oil. And that's a beautiful thing because there's an eagle flying. It's been here now maybe about an hour, and it's just flying. It's beautiful. It's gliding higher and higher, this eagle. It's just gorgeous. Not all the crystals in there are with broken crystals, just the odd few. Now, let's see if I can find some here. I'm going to show you some crystals that I've worn and that have cracked. Okay, just to show you. So while I'm working with crystals and holding them and putting good energy into them, sometimes the crystal is healing you, and sometimes the crystal is working extremely hard. So even as a healer, that I want to put energy into, say, one of these crystals on the floor now that I'm working on, like this one. Just let's say that I'm putting healing energy into this crystal, this beautiful, beautiful crystal. If it cracks on me, doesn't mean it's negative. It just means that whatever energy has gone in there has cracked it, and that's okay. For me, it's a real positive. You think it's a negative, but it's not. This crystal is a crystal that's cracked. That was on me a few weeks ago. This is another crystal that cracked. You might be able to see it. A lot of them you won't because they're only small cracks, but this is cracked. Let's have a look. Let's see. It's cracked down at the bottom across here while I was doing the healing work. This crystal here cracked as well. It cracked across here. This crystal here cracked across here. This crystal here chipped. Not because I chipped it, it just cracked as I was working with it. So I've got loads of crystals that do that. What do I do with them? I still wear them. I still work with them. If they're like this, that's perfect. It shows that it's a brilliant crystal and it's working, it's doing its magic. So I don't go, it's broken, it's no good. But if it had fallen out of this casing, I would have then, let me show you. I'll just take it off. Okay, so there's the crystal. Okay, so just say that crystal's cracked. What I'll do now is I'll mount that nicely, and I'll put a lovely frame around that and mount that as a small crystal, because it's still a crystal and it still has energy and it's still powerful. And this here is silver. I'll melt that down and use that to mount these, and that's what I do, and that's when I send them to Bali to get mounted. So same with this, or I'll keep it or gift it. So oil, brilliant to put in oil. If you're wanting then to take it out of the oil and gift it to a family and friend, which is the second thing I would do, or, excuse me, when I've taken it out of the oil and I think it's ready and I feel it's great and powerful again, I'll clean them up and put them in my pocket until the moment I meet somebody. Sorry, I've got hiccups. Till the moment I meet somebody and know that they need a crystal. And it's like the universe knows. The universe brings you at the right place at the right time to the right person for that crystal. So you just need to wait a short while, and then you, oh my God, this crystal's for you. And they'll understand completely. They'll get it. It's incredible how it works. And once you start to be open to the fact that this universal world, this spirit world, if you believe in spirit, but this other world is always influencing us in a beautiful way, not a negative way, not a bad way. When you're working with the light and love, they always influence us to help others. So that is the second thing I would suggest. Gift it to a friend or family, or just put it in your pocket until the right moment that you know. You might even gift it to a stranger, which is even more beautiful. It is. So I guess the third thing that I was just thinking that I probably would prefer you to go and, no, it doesn't matter. I'll try and explain. It takes so long, but but you see, the crystal has to split into 3 normally for it to work fully. So it's now made me think maybe I shouldn't have said 3, because sometimes a crystal just splits in 2. I guess the other thing that I would maybe suggest if it splits in 2 is, and this is what shamans do, and this is what I've done many a times, and there's many a trees that I could go back to and take the crystal from it. So basically, when your crystal's dropped and it's split in 2, take both pieces in your hand and find your tree, right? Everybody has a tree. If you don't, then it's about time you did. So the tree normally finds you, so go for a walk somewhere near where you live, so it's an easy access, and just speak to the trees in the sense of, just like you would do if you went to an art gallery, you saw a painting that you fell in love with. Same with a tree. Wait till one tree you feel. When you felt the tree, go up to it and sit by it and meditate, meaning just sit there and just let the thoughts and feelings run through you. All the while, hold one crystal in one hand and the other crystal in the other. So the crystal that's broken, your 2 pieces, you've got them in each hand. Sit and meditate for 5-10 minutes, I don't know, an hour, doesn't matter. But when you're ready, you will know which piece to gift to the tree. And basically, if you bring a little trowel with you or something that you can just dig so you're not getting your fingernails all dirty, dig a little bit and put it right under the tree, okay, as a gift. And then, whenever you do your meditation, always keep that crystal and attune to the tree. And you'll find that your attunement to spirit, your attunement to yourself, your attunement to the cosmos increases because of the connection to the tree, the crystal. Because the waves that move from this crystal to that crystal is incredible. That's why crystals are so powerful, because it doesn't matter if you split them, they'll always attune. That's why I know it's difficult and challenging to understand, but from a crystal mine, if you take 1,000 crystals and spread them in the world, what you've got in your hand is the energy of 1,000 crystals in the world, 1,000,000 crystals in the world. And you can attune to all of that when you're holding it. That's why a crystal is far more powerful than what most people understand. And, I know probably 1% of what crystals are. I don't even know 0.0% of the names of crystals. And quite rightly, I don't care. I care about the feel of crystals and what they do and how they work and how amazing they are to absorbing energy and how amazing they are to absorb memory from the universal energy. So lastly, I want to just say on this video, there's no such thing as putting negative energy into a crystal that then will stay in there and seem to anybody else as negative. A crystal absorbs negative energy and dispels it in whatever way it does. Sometimes you feel like, I just like to cleanse my crystal, put it out into the beautiful sunlight, take it to the sea, dip it in the seawater, or mix some hot water with sea salt and then put it in there if your crystal allows to go in there. Some crystals don't like sea salt, so just be aware of that and find out which crystals are okay in sea salt, but that's what I do. And lastly, to energize your crystal and make it powerful, again, always hold the crystal to energize it when you're 100% feeling great. So when you're happy, if something exciting happens to you, if somebody's told you some good news, if you feel amazing, run and grab your crystal and hold it and focus on that energy. And by that means that you are receiving a download of pure energy healing, and it will go into the crystal, which energizes the crystal again. So then your crystal is ready to help you when you're feeling down. So give back to the crystal as the crystal gives to you. And that is a beautiful universal crystal exchange. Okay, guys, I think that's it. So they're my 3 tips. I hope I've dispelled the notion of anything to do with karma, bad luck, the dark magic, all of that nonsense. Listen, a crystal can drop, a crystal can break, and it's always positive. It's always positive. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for subscribing to this new crystal channel. Thank you for going to markbajerski.com and buying your authentic, genuine crystals, which I've hunted all over the world, especially for you. And I hope you love them as much as I loved working with them and putting a certain type of energy into that crystal, which is slightly different than any other crystal in the world. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for choosing my working tools and trusting in me. Till tomorrow, have a beautiful day, guys, and keep up the great work. You're doing amazing. Bye.